The hearts of the Houston Oilers will be beating a little faster today. Even the great teams of Bum Phillips, Earl Campbell, and Dan Pastorini never achieved what the current Oiler team hopes to accomplish today, win a divisional title outright. Jerry Glanville's Oilers had only 2 beats of the clock left last month when Tony Zendejas nailed a 28-yard field goal to beat the Bengals by 2 points. Now the Oilers are in command, while Sam White and his Bengals hope to keep the dream alive of returning to the Super Bowl as AFC champions.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Houston Oilers versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey, it's warming up here in Cincinnati. It was 10 below zero last night. It's up to 10 degrees right now as two longtime rivals in the AFC Central are ready to tee it up in this most important game to be played in frigid conditions. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Ahmad Rashad on a day in Cincinnati where it's going to be very tough to play pitch and catch, but we've got two of the great passers. Ahmad, you're an ex-Viking, so you have to be happy to be here, huh?
I am freezing. I'm not even trying to pretend like I'm not.
Jerry Glanville, the coach of the Oilers, says this game will probably come down to the team that has last possession. And that's the way it was the last time they played. They went right down to a final field goal and Houston won it.
Well, one of the things that Jerry Glanville coaches is he coaches his team to try to stay in the match just right down to the last minute of the game, and that's when they make their move. He also has told his team, like, the last 4 games are the most important games of the season. And as you know, this is the second to the last game, so this is a very important one for him.
An Oiler win today, as I'm sure most of you know, gives them the outright division title. These teams are more than rivals. They are avowed enemies. Sam White, the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, says we not only want to beat Houston, we want to soften them up because we need Cleveland to beat them next Saturday night, too.
Well, that's one of the tough problems. When you talk about distractions, I think distraction for the Cincinnati Bengals is the fact that they not only have to win, they got to soften up the Oilers, and they got to hope that everybody else beats everybody else. I think that can become a distraction. They just need to try to win this game. Forget about beating up the Oilers. Nobody has done that in the last 3 years.
Of course, the big fact today going for the Houston Oilers is they've got a cold-weather quarterback who's been great over the years. Up in Canada, he was in Warren Moon. The two top passers in the American Conference are matched in Warren Moon on the right and Boomer Esiason. They both have done well in cold weather over the years.
Well, this may sound crazy, but I think that when you have this kind of conditions, the onus is on the quarterbacks because the quarterbacks have a chance to have a good day. And the quarterback's hands are always warm. And we got two of the best today, and it's going to be right on their shoulders if they can bring their team to victory.
There's Jerry Glanville, says his team is not dirty, but admits we do live on the edge. This game is going to get rough, and it's going to get rough early. Sam White saw his team fall in the closing moments last week. And now they stand at 7-7. They need a lot of help to get back into the playoffs. The defending AFC champions, the Bengals. They need Minnesota to beat Cleveland today. Then they would need Cleveland to beat Houston next Saturday night. And all that's dependent only on the Bengals beating the Oilers today. Bengals have to win. The Oilers do not. One win in their last 2 games. They're divisional champion. The kickoff comes down to Lorenzo White of the Oilers, and he takes it across the 20. Out to the 28-yard line. A 15-yard return. Ball's like a rock. It won't be a long kicking game today. There is Warren Moon, who quarterbacked 5 Grey Cup championship teams in Canada. His offensive line, one of the best with Munchak and Matthews, all pro players at the guards. Moon comes in as the highest-rated passer in the American Conference. Alonzo Highsmith is his bodyguard. Great blocker, good runner. Extra receivers come in. They go to the red gun 4-receiver set often. Warren Moon does not play with gloves on. After all his cold weather experience, says you're better off without them, or are you? He fumbles on the first play, and the Bengals seem to have the ball. David Fulcher, the all-pro safety, comes up for the first snap of the day to Warren Moon, a proven cold weather quarterback. Betrays him, and Jerry Glanville's Oilers lose the ball to the Cincinnati Bengals.
This is what Jerry Glanville was worried about. He didn't want to start this game with a big play provided by the Cincinnati defense because that can be a rallying point and can turn the thing around right away. It just looks like Warren Moon did not receive the snap. The ball's just floating around there on the field, and Fulcher, who is one of the best big play men in all of football, comes up with a huge play in a game like today. and all of a sudden momentum just turns around on a defensive play, and Cincinnati has it.
Esiason getting excellent field possession on the turnover on the first play from scrimmage. James Brooks angles into the Oiler defense, and he's down close to the 22-yard line, where cornerback Steve Brown knocked him down. James Brooks, over 1,100 yards rushing. Anthony Munoz, the consensus All-Pro. This is the best running team in the National Football League. The Cincinnati Bengals, they run behind a terrific offensive line. James Brooks and Stanford Jennings, the starting runners behind Esiason. McGee, Brown, and Holman are the starting receivers. And they go to the 4-receiver set. A rookie, John Garrett, will come in today. As the Bengals now go on 2nd down and 6, and here is a throw, wide open man, caught down at the 8-yard line and then lost. Tim McGee had it. He's ruled out of bounds, and then he lost the ball anyway.
Oh, it looked like that guy almost knocked him out of bounds, though, Don. It looked like if the defender hadn't hit him, he may have had a chance of coming in bounds. Let's take another look at it. You see Patrick Allen there covering Tim McGee. He's going up for the ball. Now watch as he's getting ready to come down. He's knocked out of bounds. There's another. There's a great look there.
Tim McGee having an all-pro year. And now he comes to 3rd down and 7. Bitter, bitter cold. The Bengals, as you know, go from scrimmage without huddles quite often, and the Oilers don't call many defensive huddles. In fact, Glanville says they haven't called one in 6 games. Here is Esiason, play fake into the end zone. Eddie Brown has it, and it's a touchdown for the Bengals. So in the bitter cold, the Bengals strike quickly. A fumble by the Oilers on their first play from scrimmage. 3 plays later is turned into a 22-yard touchdown. Esiason to Eddie Brown.
And Don, you mentioned about this Cincinnati Bengal running offense, and I think it's because of the threat of that running offense that Boomer Esiason was able to have so much time to throw this ball. You got to worry about him running the ball. Boomer will fake. Now watch Eddie Brown fake the pass and just take off. The ball is thrown in the air right now. Now watch this little push by Patrick Allen before the ball gets there. Just great concentration on the part of Eddie Brown to stay with that ball and come up with the catch.
Eddie Brown's 41st catch of the year, his 4th for a touchdown. A season ago, he was the leading receiver in the American Conference, had almost 1,300 yards receiving.
Here's another look at it. Watch Patrick Allen with the little elbow push there right at the end, but he catches that ball. He's way inside. You know, he's been in a little bit of a slump now, and you can't keep a guy like that in a slump long, but I think they are reviewing that touchdown.
Tom Dooley is the referee, while high above Riverfront Stadium, the review is on. The last time these two teams played, November 13th, when the Oilers won on a late field goal. There he goes.
I think the question was whether or not he had control of the ball, and after looking at it 3 times there, we can see that he had very good control before he was out of bounds.
Extra point is hit up and good by Jim Breech. And so the Bengals, in a game they must win, are on the board quickly with a 7-0 lead.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
They predicted a gloomy year for everyone. But they didn't count on Mazda, with cars and trucks engineered to feel just right. Now Mazda is racing toward an all-time sales record, with record-setting deals that can save you up to $1,000 now. So come get a record-setting deal at the Mazda Race to the Record. At your local Mazda dealer now.
Did you know that now almost any size business can save with AT&T? If your business is spending as little as $50 a month in long distance, you can save 10 to 28% or more with the new AT&T Pro Watts. It works over your regular telephone lines, and you automatically get bigger and bigger discounts. The more you spend, the bigger the discounts. Whether you're spending $50 a month up to $5,000 a month, we have the one plan for you. Call us. We'll even waive the sign-up fee. Pro Watts, another AT&T advantage.
Fast Eddie Brown from Miami, Florida, and the University of Miami with a touchdown reception as the Bengals jump on the Oilers quickly to start this game 7-0. Warren Moon fumbled the first snap from center, and then 3 plays later, Esiason on a 22-yard throw, a strike to Eddie Brown, who made a terrific play in the end zone. And the Houston Oilers find themselves down 7-0 as they have their kick return team out for a second time.
A huge play for the Cincinnati Bengals. The Houston Oilers hoped that they could come out here and get a quick lead, and then thought that the Cincinnati Bengals would quit. Well, that hasn't happened. The Bengals strike blood first.
Good kick, knocked downfield. This is picked up at the 25-yard line. And that's the forward progress going to be to about the 32-yard line as David Williams, a rookie tackle from Florida, #1 draft choice, with the first kickoff return perhaps of his life, maybe the last.
He didn't know what to do with it. He got the ball. He was going lateral. That's what happens
like a trick play.
Yeah, when a big guy gets the ball, everybody talks about lateral.
Houston needing just 1 win in the last 2 games. Bengals need an array of things to break their way. They have to win their last 2. Vikings have to beat the Browns today. They're playing at Cleveland now. And then Cleveland would have to beat Houston next Saturday night. Markers go down as Mike Rozier runs hard into the Bengal defense. Tim Crumry, the nose tackle, was on the stop for the Bengals. Illegal use of hands signaled by referee Dooley. Or rather, Jim Tunney is our referee, and he signals illegal use of hands.
It's still first down.
Well, the Oilers not starting this game like they wanted to. Their first possession, they give the ball up to the Cincinnati Bengals, and now all of a sudden they start this one with an illegal use of hands penalty.
A couple of weeks ago, as you know, Matt, the Oilers on a snow-covered field at Pittsburgh were behind, and they rallied to beat the Steelers. They've really been putting on the playoff drive down the stretch run from the shotgun. Warren Moon on 1st and 20. Lost it downfield. Here's a strike out to the 26-yard line. And that's where forward progress will be. Lewis Phillips came up on Haywood Jeffrey, number 84, who made the reception.
This is a lot of the times where Houston is most dangerous because they have those 4 wide receivers in. They're tough to match up man-to-man, and Moon here just looking for Haywood Jeffries. And it's a very smart play. You don't want to try to get back the entire, all that yardage back in one spot. You get 7, 8, and move yourself on down the field. A lot of times quarterbacks try to get it back all in one play and end up throwing an interception.
Warren Moon, 1 year and a 16-game season in Canada, passed for almost 5,700 yards, a pro football record. Against the blitz, he lets it go long to Jeffries, but it's incomplete. Jeffries running in one-on-one coverage against Lewis Phillips. Ricky Dixon came on the blitz.
You see Warren Moon picking the blitz up very well and just lets that ball go. The only thing, the ball is just on the other side of the receiver. They had a chance to get a big play. Anytime you got a blitz, you got man-to-man coverage on the outside. The receiver has to be alert and the quarterback has to be alert. And on that one, they just misfired because Warren put the ball on the opposite side of the receiver.
Eric Thomas got there a second late. Now it is 3rd down and 16 for the Oilers, who trail 7-0. At the 20, Crumry as the first man to get him. Tim Crumry coming back from that leg fracture he suffered in the Super Bowl, playing with a steel rod in his leg, and he will for the rest of his career, but he's back up pretty much to full speed after the injury.
Now, one of the things Crumry is so tough at, he's so intense. He has a lot of intensity in there, and he's always chasing the ball. At the beginning of the season, he didn't have that mobility, but we've watched him grow and get back to almost where he was last year.
Now the punter's in, and he's been the #1 punter in the NFL, Montgomery. Eddie Brown is back deep, along with Richard Carey, and this is Carey who has the ball. He is up to midfield, and so on the punt return of 14 yards, the Bengals' second possession will initiated very good field position. A 45-yard punt, a 14-yard return by rookie Richard Terry.
They predicted a gloomy year for everyone. But they didn't count on Mazda, with cars and trucks engineered to feel just right. Now Mazda is racing toward an all-time sales record, with record-setting deals that can get you $750 cash back on 89 Mazda trucks now. So come get a record-setting deal at the Mazda Race to the Record. At your local Mazda dealer now.
Some people see shaving as something you do for 3 minutes a day. At Braun, we see it as something you do for a lifetime. And we think you should make the best of it. The Braun Shaver, with its 3 shaving positions. Designed for those who choose to make a virtue out of necessity. Braun, the world's #1 selling foil shaver.
Oh, 5 more minutes. It's our anniversary. Let's call in sick.
Can't.
Oh, 10 years deserves something.
True.
Haven't I made you coffee for 10 years?
Haven't I had to drink it? Now, come on.
Why?
Show your friends this. Happy anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. This year. Tell her you'd marry her all over again.
Okay, I'll show him. Tomorrow.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Braun Electric Shavers. It is through superior design that superior performance can be achieved. And by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right.
The Bengals got a gift early, and it didn't come from Santa. A turnover on the first play from scrimmage. Warren Moon fumbled the snap from center. 3 plays later, the Bengals were in the end zone. Esiason to Eddie Brown from 22 yards out. And now the Bengals have the ball a second time, leading 7-0. Play fake. Esiason again. Downfield throw, and he's got Tim McGee. As his all-pro season continues, an 18-yard gain for McGee.
And Chris Dishman was right there near the play. But when you have speed like Tim McGee, he's a 9-300 man. You got to give him room. And when he comes flying off the ball going 100 miles an hour, you must get back deep and protect that deep bomb. And when you do that, he turns left and picks up the first down. Tim McGee having a great year. Last year it was Eddie Brown. This year it's Tim McGee.
Week after week, as you know him, Matt, he's been making just spectacular catches. Against the Browns, he made 2 phenomenal plays to help beat Cleveland. They're looking at this again to make sure both feet were in.
Well, they look like they, and on the sideline you can see Fulcher and Chris Dishman getting into a little, I don't know what you call that, little argument over there.
He's in.
Very good catch. Very good professional catch. Both feet in.
Despite the frigid conditions, Boomer throwing well.
Boomer 2 for 3 for 40 yards.
Now first down and 10 for the Bengals at the 32-yard line of the Oilers. Houston playing without its best defensive players. Ray Childress is out with a leg fracture, defensive end. Brooks at 182 somehow moves the pile and gets positive yardage inside the 30. Nothing on the board yet at Cleveland Stadium. Vikings and the Browns in a game most important in the AFC Central. Packers and the Bears tied up. Miami in a game that's most important for them. Up in front on a Stoyanovich field goal at Indianapolis.
You watch this Houston Oilers defense, and boy, every play, all 11 of those guys are trying to get on the pile. I mean, you got to be all the way down, stopped, and ready to get up before they stop hitting you.
Spirited group. Jerry's kids, they're affectionately known as Esiason drops to throw, 2nd and 7. Here's the free ball. As Esiason came up with the fastball, and it was floating free in the Oilers secondary, but nobody could make a play on the ball. The Oilers defense has been moved around today because of injuries. Fuller starts at left end, replacing the injured Ray Childress. Richard Byrd at nose tackle. Pass rusher Sean Jones at right end. Lyles is back. He's missed 3 games. And here is Esiason. Big rush against him. He lets it go. And it's wide open for an interception, and Dishman drops the ball. Now they start up. We have a fight going after the play, which is quickly broken up. Actually, 2 flags down in the field, Ahmad.
Well, you know, one of the smart things to do, don't get in a fight on the other team's sideline. You can't get much help over there.
Might have a late hit on the quarterback.
These kind of fights, they look bigger than they are. Nobody's getting hurt down there. There's just a lot of pushing and shoving.
Here's Jim Tunney. Didn't want any players around him.
I know what that meant. Get out of the way.
Now a derisive chant coming from the Bengal fans directed at the Oilers as a team.
And the Oilers are trying to bring the chant on. You see Richard Bird?
They like it. That's right. Glanville says when we get booed on the road, we must be doing something right.
We have the legal formation. The offense is not set. We have 12 men on the defense. We have a personal foul roughing the quarterback defense. And we have a personal foul, number 78, late hit, Cincinnati.
Oh, now that's the most penalties I've ever heard of on one play. Jerry doesn't quite understand that either. Now this is the late hit right here. Boomer lets this ball go and then gets leveled. Chris Dishman has a chance. He shows why he's a defensive back and not a receiver by knocking that ball down.
He's intercepted 4 this year. There's an enforcer for the Bengals, Anthony Munoz, the 285-pound all-pro tackler.
And no one wants to fight him. But boy, that was quite a few. That was a lot of penalties. I don't think you can call any more in one play.
We're still trying to get this all sorted out. We have 11:08 to play in the first quarter. And the Bengals lead 7-0 on an Esiason to Eddie Brown touchdown pass on their first possession.
Does that nullify everything? I mean, are we not doing anything with the ball? All those penalties and the ball doesn't move?
Boomer says dress for the worst. He said the Oilers, with all their chatter and woofing, he said they either bring out the best or the worst in you, but they certainly bring out emotion.
That's for sure.
Even with all set fouls, the play will go over to third down. Third down.
I tell you, all those penalties and the ball doesn't move.
Gave everybody a chance to warm up a little, though, right?
That's right. Now there's Boomer letting the ball go. Now watch this late hit. And he gets leveled. And Dishman levels the ball.
Third down. Third down.
We don't have enough cameras to catch the other penalties. There were quite a few more if you were listening to Jim Tunney. But we're right back where we started. Third down again.
Like it might have been William Fuller. Tough to see from that angle who made the late hit. But as we get set to go back front scrimmage, it's going to be 3rd down and 7 for Cincinnati. Ball positioned at the 29-yard line of Houston. 4 wideouts in the game again now for the Bengals. Esiason floats it downfield and is caught by Tim McGee, and he's inside the 15-yard line. A 15-yard gain on a 3rd and 7 play. First down, Bengals.
And Tim McGee talking to the referee right there about Patrick Allen's play. Very good catch by Timmy. That ball was a floater. That was a quail. Here you see the ball. I'm sure Holman lets this one get away from him, and McGee gets a chance to go up and get it. And maybe that's that late hit that McGee was talking about. He was on the ground when Eaton came across him, number 21.
Tim McGee off to a good start.
2 catches, 33 yards.
Now on first down, James Brooks tries to turn the corner and does, and James Brooks is heading in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 14 yards and a TD, and the Bengals have jumped out in front big. They're up 13-0 with 10-12 still to be played in the first quarter.
James Brooks 2 weeks ago had a bad knee. We were worried about his ability to go wide. Well, I think that he has put that all to rest. He takes this ball, and this is all James Brooks. He shows a burst of speed to get to the outside, and then another burst to get into the end zone. James Brooks one of the more underrated players in the league. Watch him get outside right here, gets around Brown, and now turns on the speed to get in the end zone and just dives in. Just a very gutsy play by James Brooks, who is one of the best running backs in the National Football League. Can do everything. He says, you talk about Eric Dickerson, he can only run. He said, I can block, I can catch, and I can run. He shows us here just how well he can run.
Again, we're having a review to see if he crossed the plane of the goal line. The linesman signaled that he did. It was the 9th touchdown of the season for James Brooks, if it goes.
Brown just getting a shot at his foot now.
He's in. Nobody touched
him. Like a touchdown to me.
It's a touchdown. Connie gives the signal, and the Bengals are on the board a second time. Jerry Glanville, bewildered or frozen, or both.
I'm sure that the frozen part's true.
Jim Breech hits the point after, up and good. And in the game the Bengals has to win to keep their dream of returning to the Super Bowl alive. They've taken a 14-0 lead.
They predicted a gloomy year for everyone. But they didn't count on Mazda, with cars and trucks engineered to feel just right. Now Mazda is racing toward an all-time sales record, with record-setting deals that can save you up to $1,000 now. So come get a record-setting deal at the Mazda Race to the Record. At your local Mazda dealer now.
In response to popular demand, we proudly introduced the Nikon Teletouch 300, a totally automatic dual-lens camera that significantly reduces red eye.
Hero cologne for men. When you have these, why would you need a Black & Decker Power Ratchet? Because it's faster, easier, and works in lots of places manual wrenches can't. The Black & Decker Power Ratchet. It's really turning a lot of heads.
Come home to the best in college football as Auburn battles Ohio State in the Hall of Fame Bowl. Then number 5 Florida State takes on 6th-ranked Nebraska at the Fiesta Bowl. And a game that will determine the national championship as number 1 Colorado battles 4th-ranked Notre Dame at the Orange Bowl. New Year's Day, the best bowls are on NBC.
It's unlikely that Jerry did leave him the tickets. He usually leaves them for Elvis or the Phantom of the Opera or Elliot Ness.
Well, unless that guy underneath that mask is Elvis, I doubt that Jerry did leave that.
Yeah, that would be news. So the Bengals ready to kick off for a 3rd time, and the game's not yet 5 minutes old. They lead it 14-0. Really turned on the first play from scrimmage, almost an onside kick attempt, and the Oilers fumble around and finally come up with the ball. Looked like Bob Morosco, rookie tight end from Penn State, who got it. Nothing on the board yet in the first quarter at Cleveland between the Vikings and the Browns. Packers have gone in front of Chicago. Miami controls its own destiny, at least as a wild card. Miami winning today, and next week against Kansas City goes to the playoffs as a wild card regardless of what Buffalo does. Miami still with a good chance to win the division if the Bills falter.
And they have been faltering lately.
Scott Schwades just ran back a punt 70 yards for a Dolphin touchdown at Indianapolis. Warren Moon and the Oilers try to get it going. Looking for the swing pass, downfield throw, nice connection out to the 44-yard line. There was a gain of 9 on the play. Ricky Dixon comes up and blasters Drew Hill, but he held on. Now to New York and NFL Live. Here's Bob Costas.
All right, Don, and here's the Scott Schwades punt return you mentioned a moment ago. Ron Stark boots it for the Colts. Schwades fields it at the 30, and 70 yards later, he's in the end zone. The Dolphins do, as you said, have a crack at the title in the AFC East, and they're a wild card for sure if they win this one and beat the Chiefs at home next week. 10-0 Dolphins in the first.
Thanks, Bob. Set to go now from scrimmage on 2nd and short. The Oilers busted ahead and get a first down. They're out to the 47-yard line on a run by Mike Rozier. He was a training camp holdout after being a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago. Former Heisman Trophy winner from Nebraska. He has been hampered by injuries this year. He's coming off his best game. He had 83 yards last week against Tampa Bay and just 13 carries.
I really think that holdout in training camp really played a major role in the way his season has gone this year, but he's starting to get hot right when it counts.
Could get it a lot today. Oilers need big plays now, down 14-0, and an errant throw by Warren Moon. Trying to go out to Ernest Gibbons on a turnout. Reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Front 7 for Cincinnati. McClendon still at left end for injured Jim Scow. They make wholesale substitutions when they go to their all-out pass defense. Richard Carey's been a surprise, the defensive back. Two of the best cover corners in the league are Billups and Thomas. It is 2nd down and 10 for Houston. Here's Alonzo Highsmith. Doesn't get much. Maybe 3s. He's out close to the 50-yard line. Bring up 3rd down, and the Oilers will need at least 7 as Reggie Williams playing his last home game. The 14-year veteran from Dartmouth. A standout on the field and a leader on and off it.
And a great player too, Don. Just a great player. And I know that he's having a lot of mixed emotions when it comes down to your last game at home.
Cincinnati City Councilman is Reggie Williams. Cornerstone of the community. And of the Bengal defense as Warren Moon rolls out. He needs 7 yards. And he has nobody open. He just grounds the ball near a receiver. No foul call because there wasn't any. But Skip McClendon had the heat on him, and the Oilers have to punt the ball.
What Warren Moon likes to do with that little half rollout is stop and throw back the other way. But because of all that pressure he's getting from the other side, he could not stop. He had to keep rolling out, and once you keep rolling out, you really can't throw all the way back across the other side of the field, so Moon threw it away.
Erik Wilhelm was on the air yesterday saying before live television cameras that he doesn't like Sam White, and the feeling is mutual. And here's a punt downfield by Montgomery that will roll out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Just a 30-yard punt by the NFL's leading punter, Greg Montgomery from Michigan State, a first-year player, and the Bengal offense is ready to roll again.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
It began as a game. It turned into a battle. And now, it's out of control. Bowl 2, coming January 28th. This time, it's war.
This is really weird. I have to shampoo a lot. And every time I do, my hair gets wet, but my scalp gets dry. It's tight and itchy. The more I shampoo, the drier it can get. Now, I can't stop shampooing, but I can use this. New dry scalp shampoo from Head & Shoulders. Made a different way, so it doesn't dry out your scalp like those other guys can. Try Head & Shoulders new dry scalp shampoo and help wipe out dry scalp.
NBC Sports serves your need to know all week long. Dial 1-900-454-3500 for NBC Scores Plus. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the USA.
14-0 Bengals in the first quarter. Don Craigie with Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad, you going to make it all right, Phil?
Yeah, I think I'm warming up. I'm warming up.
It's going to get better.
As this game warms up, I'm warming up.
Well, it warmed up quickly for the Cincinnati Bengals, jumping right out to a 14-0 lead before 5 minutes were played in the first quarter. And And now the Bengals are on offense again with Boomer Esiason at quarterback. From the 21-yard line. Eric Ball, a rookie runner from UCLA, is cut down at the 20. The weather conditions, frigid, and the hard hitting is going to lead to more turnovers. There's been one critical one. The opening snap from scrimmage on Houston's first possession. Warren Moon couldn't handle it. And the Bengals quickly got the ball and subsequently went in for the opening score of the game on a 22-yard touchdown pass.
You notice that snow behind that girl there is not melting.
That's going to be here for a while. They had a 6-inch snowfall blanket the greater Cincinnati area on Friday, and it got colder. Holman, Rodney Holman, on a 2nd down and 11 play, is ahead for a gain of about 10 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Don, you know, having played in this weather quite a few times, I really think it's easier to throw the ball than it is to carry the ball. Here you see Boomer looking for Rodney Holman, one of the best tight ends in the league. Somehow, when you run the ball and you get all those helmets hitting on the ball, it's like you said earlier, you get the big fumble and you get a turnover. Throwing the ball seems to be a little bit easier.
Esiason throwing with gloves on. It's interesting that Warren Moon, after all those cold weather games, said he absolutely functioned better without gloves. He didn't at the outset.
And Bud Grant used to tell us that too. I beg to differ. I think he needs some big old thick gloves on. Sam calling the play. And one of the things, when Sam calls these plays from the sideline, the entire offense knows the play. It's not like just sent to the quarterback. Everybody knows all the signals so that everybody's on the same page, which cuts down on mistakes. Go, baby.
Third down, the Bengals need 1. Throw, and it's caught. Coming down with the ball is tight end Jim Riggs, number 87. Just his 5th catch of the year, but it's good for 4 yards and a 1st down. Game clock down to 6:34 to play in the 1st quarter.
Sam White, you're agreeing with me a little bit. It's a lot easier to throw that ball. Just a little nice half rollout by Boomer Esiason. Hits Riggs on the run. Nice tackle, 1st down.
And Boomer keeps putting up those numbers, Ahmad.
5 for 7, 69 yards and a touchdown. This is a receiver's day. I mean, because you can miss tackles in this kind of a weather. One missed tackle, you can go the distance.
The only suspect area of the Oiler team is their secondary. They've given up a lot of passing yards. Testaverde went for over 330 against them last week in a 3-point loss to Houston. Eddie Brown, who caught the touchdown pass on a 1st down throw, makes an 8-yard reception. Chris Dishman, one of the most loquacious of the Oilers.
I notice that he's getting a little bit more quiet. They say he is just a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He's one of the most quiet, caring individuals off the field, but once he gets on the field, he gets a little bit crazy. Here you see Eddie Brown. That's what you want to try to do. You throw a little hitch pass, and if he can break this tackle, he's off to the races, and it's very hard to tackle in cold weather.
2nd down comes up now, and 2nd down and 2 is the play call. Eric Ball, big back, 215 pounds, a 2nd-round pick from UCLA. And he is out and inside the 45-yard line. A gain of 13 yards on the play. And the Bengals have yet another 1st down.
Excellent blocking by that Cincinnati offensive line, allowing Eric Ball to get outside. Once he got outside, he did it all on his own. See these big fellas reach blocking. They're keeping that defense inside, and now Eric Ball's out there on his own. Nice little move there on Dishman. Run out of bounds by Donaldson. Told me earlier in the year that he was a little bit worried about his weight. He said, well, I've adjusted since then. I think my weight is just fine. All I need is just more playing time. This man's got a big future here in Cincinnati.
Bengals could be running a reverse. They like to do that with Hollifield. This is the reverse to Hollifield, and he's cut down for a loss on the play. Did indeed run the reverse. But it didn't go anywhere as Johnny Meads, number 91, and Steve Brown, number 24, zoned in on it. And there's a loss of 5 yards. Hollifield comes off.
Hollifield with those black shoes on, they told me before the game he's their secret weapon. Said he runs the 40 in about 2 seconds. Here, Houston was ready for that one. I think that's the play that they were looking for. Very well played by Johnny Meads.
Blocked the punt against the Bengals in the victory November 13th at the Astrodome. And Eugene Seal recovered for a touchdown in that 2-point Houston win. Downfield throw, and Rodney Holman brings it in at the 18-yard line. So a player that many think is the best in pro football at his position, as a flag is down, Rodney Holman is on the receiving end, and it'll come back. Legal use of hands call is signaled against the Bengals, negating a 30-yard throw from Esiason to Rodney Holman.
Rodney Holman.
Early use of the hands. 65. Offense at second down. Still second down.
Max Montoya a little upset about. Watch Max Montoya, number 65, right to the right of your screen in the middle. He's got, well, he got his hand caught in there just a little bit. That, yeah, I'm sure Max would say that's a little ticky-tacky.
Brings up a long yardage down now. Second down and 25 for the Bengals.
He didn't grab him. He just got his hand caught in between his legs.
Glanville says the no-huddle offense isn't so cerebral. We've beaten them 5 of the last 6 times we've played them. And they have. Here's a hard throw downfield, and a marker's down. They might have Dishman. Tim McGee was the intended receiver. Dishman is a rookie from Purdue, and Glanville says at this point in the season he's our best one-on-one coverer. He has 4 interceptions. He's been involved in a lot of jawing sessions with opponents, led to some fouls, and this time he hit early. It's a pass interference call.
Well, the official behind him made that play, made the call. He was all over the top of Tim McGee. Having a little bit of discussion down there.
Defensive pass interference, number 28, first down.
So now look, you see Tim McGee trying to run a break-in route. He breaks inside now. Now he pushes him to the outside. Now he'll come breaking across the middle of the field. Dishman right on his back, and is very close. Very close. I guess these days now the defensive back can't touch the guy too much, because it appeared to me they were both going after the ball.
So the Bengals get a first down. It's first down at the 44-yard line of Houston. 14-0 Cincinnati in the first quarter. Esiason with a lot of time again. Threads it to Tim McGee. This time it's good for a pickup of 6 on the out pattern. Tim McGee knocked out of bounds by Bubba McDowell, a rookie strong safety that the Oilers are touting for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's had a terrific year. 3rd-round draft choice from Miami.
And Tim McGee also has had a terrific year because of his stats and his deep range possibilities. That's why he's always able to run that little 6-10-yard out, and should be open all the time, because anytime you come up and try to defend against that, this young fellow will go right by you in a hurry.
The fastest Bengal, Tim McGee. He was a #1 pick out of Tennessee. Second down, a long 2 comes up for Cincinnati. And for Jennings, he won't get there. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Richard Byrd, 71, was on the tackles, along with John Grimsley, 59. Vikings and the Browns still scoreless. A rare day when the Browns are rooting for the Bengals and vice versa. Indianapolis is now on the board, trailing the Dolphins by 3 as we go to live action. Long ball, end zone. Eddie Brown, touchdown, Bengals.
And that was
36 yards. Now these quick, elusive Cincinnati wide receivers are eating up the Houston secondary. Early in this game, we have a TKO in progress. 4:45 to play in the first quarter, and the Bengals have taken a 20-0 lead.
You got to give a lot of credit to Boomer Esiason. he caught Cincinnati trying to bring some players in. They quick snapped it, and he went deep right away. Robert Lyles was trying to call timeout before the play went, but he didn't have a chance. Boomer had already got that ball and fired it downfield to Eddie Brown. And that's what happens on that quick play offense. Boomer caught him napping a little bit.
Ready to kick the point after. So Jim Breech, the father of 6, he had 2 little kickers at the practice yesterday with him. It's the point after Eddie Brown makes his 2nd touchdown reception of the day. And the Bengals have blown this game open in the first quarter, 21-0.
It was amazing to watch. Watch the concentration on this play. Bubba McDowell tries to swing his hand in there, and Eddie Brown, watching the ball the entire time, makes a nice catch. But Boomer Esiason was watching the Oiler defense, and they were just slowly trying to get in and off the field. He lined his team up right away, took the snap, and took it the distance. Just fired it down the field. That's what Glanville is arguing about right now. He feels like his team didn't have a chance to match up. He's really upset about it. Because Robert Lyles, I was watching the entire time, was trying to call timeout. There's another look. Boomer Esiason faking over there and then going deep with the play. Great catch by Eddie Brown. Keeping his eye on it the entire way.
Brown was isolated on the strong safety, the rookie Bubba McDowell.
And Glanville trying to find out, wait a minute, we should get a chance to match up.
That's been a continuing complaint throughout the league, that if the Bengals have an offensive substitution on the field, the defense has to be allowed to have one.
I don't believe that the Bengals had a substitution. I think that they just quick snapped him. They just got up on the ball with the people that they had and went.
I think, Ahmad, that Houston only had 10 guys on the field.
Sam is very happy with the way this turned out. He's over there yelling encouragement to his team.
Sam's not going for that mic again, is he?
Not just yet.
We knew when he ran across the field last week he wasn't going to sing the national anthem again.
Or shake hands with Chuck Knox.
So it is a 21-0 game. Cincinnati in the lead. Lee Johnson set to kick off again.
Boomer Esiason, a very heady. He runs this quick snap offense so well, and he's throwing the ball so he completed 10 of his first 12 passes.
That's the way he started last week. Real hot against Seattle. He tailed off at the end. Jim Turney, the referee, I guess probably warning Sam.
Yeah, I think this could be a warning. I think he's warning Sam.
The horse is out of the barn right now because this might be over. It's 21-0 in the first quarter.
The warning is about 7 points too late.
You have to point out again that Houston has a history of rallying from behind. They did it in similar conditions a couple of weeks ago at Pittsburgh. Looks like the Steelers had them, and the Oilers rallied to win it.
They did it last week also, Don.
Yeah, they had the big early lead and then held on. Ray Perkins, the coach of Tampa Bay, said after the game, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the Oilers are going to the Super Bowl. Jerry Glanville did not take that as a compliment, though. He thought he was just putting the heat on him a little more. Downfield kick goes to Tracy Johnson, a big fullback who's across the 20. Evan Walker, 59, caught him around the neck and knocked him down. The Oilers again go on offense, and again they start deep in their own end. They'll be at the 25-yard line. A reminder to our viewers to stay tuned on most of these NBC stations for the second game of our football doubleheader. Most of you will see the Buffalo Bills take on the defending Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers. Others will see the Jets versus the LA Rams. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
One of the things that does work against a team in the cold weather is this offense of Houston has been on the sidelines for quite a while. And no matter what your mind is doing, your body is getting cold while you're standing over there on that sideline.
First down and 10 for the Houston Oilers as Warren Moon makes a throw downfield and it's dropped. Normally sure-handed Drew Hill coming back at the ball, can't hold on. But That brings up 2nd down and 10.
I think
Joe Kelly, one of the linebackers covering.
I think that was a result of being cold. You stand over there a lot of times, your feet get cold, your knees, everything gets all cold, and you just don't have that fluidity. It takes a while. The worst thing that can happen to an offense in a cold weather game is to have to sit on the sideline for too long.
Bengal offense, when it's been out there, has been hot. 3 touchdowns, 3 possessions. Now Drew Hill makes the play, loses the ball, and the Bengals have it, if indeed it is a catch and a fumble. That is the ruling that Drew Hill caught the ball, then fumbled it. Carl Zander, outstanding inside backer from Tennessee, and up with the ball.
Drew Hill here, coming up with a nice stretch, has the ball now, and then it just gets loose from him. I don't know if he really had possession of that ball. It didn't appear to me that he actually brought that ball into his body. Cincinnati trying their hurry-up offense. Carl Zander with a nice play, but Cincinnati trying to use their hurry-up offense, trying to beat the replay official, hoping they could get a play going before they took another look at this, and that's what they're doing now. Taking another look at it, so we'll show you another look at it. Warren Moon firing to Drew Hill. Drew Hill's outstretched arm now as he brings it down. It doesn't appear to me that he really had possession of that ball.
Clock is stopped with 4:24 to play in the first quarter. And the Bengals, in a game they must win, are up in front 21-0.
Well, there's another look. Drew Hill stretching out as he brings the ball in. Now the ball's out of his hands and on the ground. And it just doesn't appear to me that this is a catch and a fumble. I don't think he ever had control of it. And I really think that has a lot to do with you set a receiver on the sideline a long time. In this weather, you get very cold. And a lot of catches that you make that are routine catches for you all of a sudden become very hard. And that's what happened to Drew Hill.
There was high praise, Ahmad, that Sam White had for Warren Moon yesterday when we met with Sam, saying of the quarterbacks we've studied, the 2 most accurate in the NFL are Joe Montana and Warren Moon. Coach White well pleased with the way it's developing now for his team. He's always at odds with the officials, though, a lot of the time.
He's trying to get the clock. He's trying to get the replay people to hurry up. I got to know they're going to reverse this, because it just wasn't clear that he had that ball before it got away from him. And Sam just wanting something to happen quickly. I'm sure a lot of the players do too.
The pass is ruled incomplete. Incomplete.
Here's another angle at this. You watch Drew Hill outstretched as he brings the ball down now. Right now it starts to come out. I just don't think I mean, it's obvious he didn't really have the ball in his possession before it got out of there. A very good call by the replay officials.
So Warren Moon and the Oilers maintain possession, but they're in a deep hole, down 21-0 with 4:24 to play in the first quarter.
They need some reps. They need to get this offense going. They need a drive. They need something to feel good about themselves. They need just anything to get 3 or 4 plays off in a row.
Third down, they need 10. Downfield throw, a catch is made, and the spot is going to be at the very friendly spot, it would seem, for the Oilers. They get it out to the 35-yard line. That's where they had to go. They're falling back at the ball. Drew Hill looked like he was behind the 35.
It looked like, Don, you said 3rd down and 10. I think they got 10 in like 1/3 yard. Drew Hill making the catch. And it
just don't like it on the replay.
No, it just depends on where they mark that ball. And they mark it right at the 35, which gives them a first down. Drew Hill's been hurt a lot. Missed a lot of training camp, but at 33, all that does is save your legs. He is the big play receiver on this football team.
He has been a great, great player since coming here from the Los Angeles Rams. Drew Hill in his 11th year.
Misused when he was at the Rams. Said all they did was hand the ball off to the running back.
Moon goes to the run. The big back taking it at him. Alonzo Highsmith, number 32. And Highsmith is knocked down at about the 38-yard line. A gain of about 3 on the play. Now in the second quarter at Cleveland Stadium, Vikings and the Browns still with nothing up. Chicago's rallied to tie Green Bay. Miami continues to lead the Colts by 3. Pittsburgh still has a playoff shot. Things would have to break their way. They have to win their last 2. They're a 7-7 team and in command of New England at the moment. From the shotgun, second down and 7. Drew Hill is open, and he's across the midfield line down to the 47-yard line of the Bengals. So the Oilers hit a big play that they need so badly, a 15-yard gain and a first down.
One of the things about this Oiler offense is they do have the big play capabilities and the people in the talent positions to pull it off. One of them is Drew Hill. Wide open again. What you've got to do to stop this Oiler offense is you have to be able to match up man for man on their 4 receivers, which is almost impossible. And that's where you find guys like Drew Hill running free in the secondary. Somebody's going to have a safety on him, and Warren Moon will find that person and get him the ball.
Lorenzo White turns upfield on a first down carry. He is ahead for maybe 2 yards. Jason Buck, number 99, defensive end, was on the play along with Crumride. Game clock down to 2:40 to play in the first quarter. Clock running and the Bengals in command, 21-0.
The Oilers every now and then trying to sneak a running plan, trying to control Joe Kelly, Carl Zander, Leon White, and Reggie Williams, those Cincinnati linebackers, to try to keep them out of those passing lanes.
Last season, the AFC Central sent 3 teams to the playoffs. Cincinnati, Houston, and Cleveland. Right now, it would appear that only the divisional champion is going to go. Marker down before the snap of the ball. Play is indicated. It was a second down and 9 play.
Had to be a mix-up. Most of the offensive line went on 1, and the ball was hiked on 2.
Still second down.
If you watch, I'm sure Hut 1 and all the linemen go, and Hut 2, then he hikes it. They got to get that together.
Jay Pennison, the Oilers center, and a very good one. A misconnection early in the game turned this game around when Moon fumbled the opening snap. Oilers lead the league in penalties.
Do you get an award for that? They usually give an award for most other categories.
Well, the Raiders have had Super Bowl winning years, Ahmad, as you know, on years that they won.
That's an award.
Moon, downfield throw, and it is again taken in by Drew Hill, this time for a 17-yard gain.
Now you can see what Sam Weich meant when he said Warren Moon is so accurate. He threw this ball right by a Cincinnati defender. There was only one place where he could throw the ball, and he put it right there. And Drew Hill with a fine reception. Warren Moon looking for Drew Hill the entire time. Now watch, this ball's right on a line. He throws it right in between 2 Cincinnati defenders for the first down.
Houston Oilers have been a wild card team the past 2 years. They've not won a divisional championship outright since the American Football League in 1967. David Fulcher intercepts Warren Moon. And Fulcher's not done yet. The all-pro strong safety who recovered the opening fumble now comes up with a second turnover. The Oiler drive is stopped. David Fulcher with his 6th interception of this season.
In this offense, the receiver and the quarterback have to read the same thing when looking at a defense. Ernest Givens, number 81, saw the opening to the inside, the outside. Watch number 81, Ernest Givens. He comes down here and goes over the middle. Now, when he turns right, Moon throws the ball back left.
Now, as we go to live action, watch for a play-action pass to Tim McGee. After turnovers, the Bengals often go to Tim McGee. There's Esiason looking for him. He's not open, so he dumps it off to James Brooks. And he's out to midfield. It's a first down. A 12-yard gain and a first down. Inside linebacker John Grimsley with the knockdown. 240-pound strong safety David Fulcher from Arizona State with 2 turnovers today.
This is the play that the Bengals like to do, as you said, Don. Once they get a turnover, they like to try to come back with a big play. He can't find Tim McGee, but he does find James Brooks.
Bengals holding to a 21-0 lead. Late in the first quarter, they go to the run. Here's James Brooks. Eyeing the right side of the Oiler defense. He hits down to the 45-yard line. First down carry was good for about 4. Johnny Meads, an outside backer, 91, and Al Smith, 54, were on the stop for the Oilers.
One of the things the Oilers were really worried about is that if Cincinnati got a lead on them, if they could get a 10-point lead, then all of a sudden they'd use that big old huge offensive line to control the rest of the game. Well, they have a 21-point lead, and I got a feeling that sooner or later they're going to just start pounding that ball away at Houston.
Cold as it is, Hot Boomer's on a roll.
He really has completed his last 7 passes, and like I said earlier, cold days are receivers' days. There is no wind out here, which makes it a great day to throw the ball.
Bridges, but there's no wind. Stanford Jennings on a second down carry, busts it up the middle for 10 yards, and yet another Cincinnati first down.
And there Cincinnati goes with that. They got that huge offensive line in the front that takes a lot of pride in running the ball. And they'd like to run the ball every single play. They like to come into a game and run it every single time.
That'll do it for the first quarter of play as the Bengals have taken command 21-0.
My dream car would be a truck, a Nissan hardbody. I'd race in Baja. Whoa, wait a minute, time out. Make that the mountains. With nobody around except my girlfriend. And a pizza. And my boss. Somebody's got to wash the truck.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
What'd you get the boys?
Radio Shack's radio-controlled cars. A dual-speed White Tiger Turbo with spring suspension to hug the road. A high-speed Golden Arrow off-roader with lightning response to leave them in the dust. And a turbocharged Ferrari that will burn up the racetrack.
Bob, you got 3 cars. We only have 2 boys.
2 little boys and 1 big one.
Radio-controlled cars from $9.95 to $119.95. Only at Radio Shack, the technology store. In 1859, Isaac Cook created a Great American Champagne to launch the Great American Clipper ships. Today, people are still launching celebrations with Cook's Imperial American Champagne.
Hit it, boys!
Isn't there someone you know who could use a skill twist this Christmas? The Skill Twist. The practical gift for practically anybody.
New Year's Day, come home to the best in college football. Kick off your day with the Hall of Fame Bowl. The Southeast Conference co-champion Auburn Tigers, the Giant Killers, battle the high-scoring Buckeyes of Ohio State. New Year's Day, the best bowls are on NBC Sports.
The Cincinnati Bengal offense has been dominant in this game, primarily with the throwing game in the very cold weather. Esiason with 2 touchdown throws to Eddie Brown. James Brooks with a 14-yard touchdown run. As we're set now for the start of the second quarter, Bengals are in command 21-0. Houston has beaten Cincinnati 5 of the last 6 times they played.
And there is Ickey Woods there on the bench. Boy, when I was playing, the only thing you got off the bench was splinters. Now you go over there to get warm.
Got those big blowers over there.
I'd like to have one in this booth right about now.
They say it's 10 degrees. I don't believe it. It was 10 below last night.
Will Jenkins hot seat. Now the people that are on the hot seat is the Houston Oilers defense. Esiason calling the play from the line of scrimmage.
He says that the Oilers have a problem with the quick snap offense. A fake reverse. James Brooks holds the ball and gets ahead to the 31-yard line. On a 1st down and 10 play, he's ahead for a gain of about 5. Vikings and the Browns still scoreless in the most important game at Cleveland Stadium. Miami with another field goal from Stoyanovich now extends its lead to 6 over the Colts. Kansas City very much in the playoff run with a 3-point lead over San Diego at KC. Pittsburgh very much alive with a 14-3 lead in the 2nd quarter over New England. Houston Oilers behind 21-0 today. Win the division outright with a win today if they should come back, or with a win at home next Saturday night at the Astrodome in a rare Saturday night game against the Cleveland Browns. William Fuller left about 5 minutes early.
Yeah, a little bit early, a lot early actually.
Jim Tunney now going to check things out and see if there's any motion in the offensive line that brought him off.
95 defense. Still 2nd down.
Another look. William Fuller just a little bit ahead of the snap. Actually, a lot ahead of the snap. They still haven't snapped the ball yet. And that's one of the things the defensive linemen learn how to do. When you jump offside, just point at anybody. Watch, he'll jump offside. Nobody moves, but watch his right hand. Watch. He's going to try to blame it on somebody. Yep.
About that short. 2nd down.
About that short. You got to at least do that, right? And blame
right. You know, a lot of defensive cornerbacks made all-pro by pointing at the other guy on a touchdown pass, as if it wasn't his man.
Military coach Bud Grant used to say what he liked about the man-to-man defense. At least when there's a breakdown, you knew who to blame.
That's right.
On 2nd down and less than 1 now, Boomer might be putting it up here. Short yardage, he likes to go deep. Esiason looking to throw deep, but they get him, and he's knocked down on a sack. So William Fuller, the guilty party on the encroachment, quickly comes back with a sack of Boomer Esiason. Almost looked like Fuller wasn't blocked at all.
No, Fuller just watch him go right by Brian Blados. Gets an excellent shot at Boomer Esiason. He just gets by him before Blados can get set. Fuller's right by him. That's his 6th sack on the year. 269 pounds and extremely quick.
Look out now for the rollout play action pass on 3rd down and 9. Esiason very effective at this, rolling out. And the play action, first faking, there's the fake, here's the rollout. As Esiason throws downfield, and it's caught inside the 20 and down to the 17-yard line. Eddie Brown with a 17-yard reception, and Glanville and his Oilers are in deep trouble on this cold day.
A great catch by Eddie Brown. A big play. And this ball was just thrown in the area. And here goes Cincinnati. They're trying to hurry up and go with another play.
But referee Jim Tunney whistles it dead.
Jim Tunney.
Charge. Timeout. Charge. Timeout. Houston.
And that's what they tried to do the last time that Cincinnati had this quick snap offense, was called timeout.
Timeout. Still the Bengals by 21.
The writers of Motor Trend magazine road tested a lot of cars before the Mitsubishi Galant. They road tested a lot of cars after it. But no other car was so well conceived, so well crafted, so thoroughly satisfying to drive. And that is why they marked the occasion in the most significant way they could. They named the Mitsubishi Galant Motor Trend Import Car of the Year.
It's 11:35, and Roseanne Horn is learning all about her antifreeze. The hard way. Don't push your luck. Guarantee it with Advanced Formula Prestone.
Come on, answer.
Happy holidays from all of us at Angel Soft and Georgia Pacific.
A classic Christmas ballet comes to the ice with America's sweetheart, Dorothy Hamill. It's a holiday special for the entire family. NutraSweet presents Dorothy Hamill in the Nutcracker on Ice. Next Saturday on NBC Sports World.
Happy holidays, everyone.
If you will look to the right of your screen over here, not this play, but the next one, you'll see him calling timeout. Right there is his hands. That's Robert Lyles, and anytime they get in that quick snap situation, he tries to call timeout. He tried to do that earlier, and they got off a bomb for a touchdown. Didn't work. This time he got the attention of the official, and Robert Lyles called the timeout. They say Robert Lyles is one of the most intelligent guys. I was talking to Floyd Reese, the linebacker coach, said this guy could play almost any position. Very intelligent football player.
He's playing on a tender knee. He's been out 3 weeks with a knee injury, Robert Lyles, one of the key defenders for the Oilers. Now Esiason goes to the run. Stanford Jennings doesn't find much there. On a 1st down and 10 play, he takes the ball down to the 16-yard line. We still have 12 and a half minutes to play in the first half. Bengals are in the lead 21-0.
And Lyles in on that tackle. They also say he is the spiritual leader of this football team. He's the guy that came up with the House of Pain with an Astrodome.
60-year linebacker out of TCU, Robert Lyles. This Detroit Lion team isn't bad as the season wears on. Going for the 4th straight win today. Second and 9. Boomer takes a look. Out pattern. Stanford Jennings inside the 10, spinning down to the 6-yard line. It was a 2nd and 9 play, and he got about 8. It'll be 3rd and short now for Cincinnati.
Very nice move by Stanford Jennings, trying to spin inside and pick up that 1st down. And he did pick it up. Very nice move. Watch at the end of this play. Boomer Esiason looking downfield, knowing that he always has Stanford Jennings out here in the flat. Now watch right at the end. Stanford Jennings makes this little twisted move back inside and gets the 1st down. Stanford Jennings, a guy who plays every position on this offense.
Yeah, he's an undersung and very valued performer on this Bengal team. A 60-year runner out of Furman, Stanford Jennings. Now the play fake is the ball into the end zone. It's yet another Cincinnati touchdown. Sam White's passing game has worked into perfection as the tight end Rodney Holman comes down with the ball. 8th touchdown catch of the year. He leads all NFL tight ends and TD receptions. And the Houston Oilers had to be thinking about the warmth of the dome and playing Cleveland next Saturday night, because they sure aren't in this one.
That's a very tough position to be in. Glanville knows it, that you don't want to go into a game thinking, well, if we lose this one, we'll win the next one. But here is this year's best tight end, Rodney Holman, making a great catch right there for the touchdown. This Houston Oilers team, boy, it just starts to fade away on you when you say, oh, if we don't win this one, we'll win the next one.
And the extra point by Jim Breech is up and good, and the Oilers now find themselves down 28-0.
The Mitsubishi Mirage. Buy the special edition Mirage EXE and get air conditioning and AM/FM cassette at no extra charge.
I just did something incredible. 5 minutes ago, I had gray hair, but now I don't. And this is what did it. New Option Instant from Clairol. The advanced way to get rid of the gray. Option Instant for men is different. With theirs, you have to pour and mix ingredients, but Option's the advanced way. All you need is this. It's so easy. And only 5 minutes later, your natural-looking color's back.
Hair feels thicker, too.
New Option Instant from Clairol. The advanced way to get rid of the gray.
The Mitsubishi Mirage. Buy the special edition Mirage EXE and get air conditioning and AM/FM cassette at no extra charge.
I thought, this isn't a little quake. 504, it just felt like a giant jackhammer hit the house. The Allstate claims adjuster was driven down here and introduced himself as Roger. He just took me around and consoled me and told me that we were going to get a place to stay in, we were going to be able to rebuild, and then he did something he didn't have to do. He started climbing right up there and hauling stuff out for us. You know, you listen to these ads about you're in good hands, and if you don't go through it, it's just one more ad that you laugh at. Well, I won't laugh at it now.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. By Allstate. For home, auto, and life insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. And by Michelob. One taste will tell you why the night belongs to Michelob.
There's a Bengal fan prepared for the worst, but so far he's seen only the best. As Cincinnati has jumped all over Houston, has taken a 28-0 lead. Esiason's third touchdown pass of the first half went to Rodney Holman. The other two to Eddie Brown. James Brooks also ran 14 yards for a Bengal score.
The Bengals had been looking for an offense for the last few weeks. It looks like they found it today.
One of those weeks somehow where you wish you could save some.
Yeah.
Kickoff downfield to Tracy Johnson. A 230-pound blockbuster takes it to the 30. Breaks the wedge and gets out to the 31-yard line. Reminder to our viewers to stay tuned on most of these NBC stations for the second game of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see the Buffalo Bills take on the defending Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers. Others will see the Jets go against the Rams at Anaheim. Check your local listings for the game in your area. And the NFL schedule maker came out with Buffalo versus San Francisco last spring. Many thought it was a Super Bowl preview. One half of it's probably right. The 49ers will have home field in the NFC, but Buffalo is on the ropes, struggling to get in the playoffs. Pitch back. Running hard is Lorenzo White. But he doesn't run far as the Bengal defense hitting on D just like the offense is hitting with the throwing game. Knocks him down a gain of 2. Carl Zander 91 on the stop.
A great play by Carl Zander. Had he gotten by Zander, he had some running room out in front of him, and Zander just stopped him cold.
Ten minutes and 30 seconds to play in the first half. Oilers getting some counsel on the telephone. That's Tracy Eaton, extra defensive back, number 21. Moon right to the shotgun. They need big plays, and they need them fast. Warren Moon on the run, and they get Warren Moon at the 32-yard line. A sack. Barney Bussey came up on him. Tua Tagovailoa is also on the play, number 96.
Warren Moon has not had to worry about this problem a lot in the past, but today, all of a sudden, he can't find any time to throw the ball down the field. These Bengals are swarming. They are rumbling here in the jungle.
Alan Pinkett of the Oilers says if there's an easy way and a hard way to do something, we'll find the hard way. And that was the concern this morning among a lot of the Oilers officials, that they might not play well in the cold weather, even though they did a couple of weeks ago at Pittsburgh. Cincinnati's been unbelievable. Moon makes the throw. The connection is made to Alonzo Highsmith. On third down and 8, he got only about 4. So the Oilers come up short again as they start up after the play. I'm sure not both these teams were warned by referee Jim Tunney about mixing up. The last time they played, there were 2 or 3 fights before the game.
It's almost embarrassing, Don, to start a fight when you're behind 28-0. I mean, I see how things like that happen early on in the season. I mean, early on in the game, but as the game wears on and you're behind by 28 points, I think that your concern should be trying to get some points on the board and not fighting.
We want to make mention to our viewers that because this game is a blowout at this point, 28-0, we'll be switching some of you to the close Miami at Indianapolis game. Everyone in the Cincinnati area and in the Houston area will stay with this game throughout. Charlie Jones and Merlin Olsen at Indianapolis, where the Dolphins and the Colts are hooked up. Last report, Miami was leading by 6. Here's a punt downfield by Montgomery. Richard Carey is back for Cincinnati. On the 12-yard line, he weaves his way out across the 15. There's a ball on the field, and the Oilers say they have it, and so does the official. So this could change right now. At least going to be close as Dishman looks like the guy.
Chris Dishman taking a bow for the Cincinnati home folks. He was the one that pulled that ball out of Carey's arms.
Fumble recovery, Houston, first down.
With this offense that the Houston Oilers have, watch it right there, and you'll see Dishman now putting his right arm over the top of the ball. Now he starts to yank. There's the ball on the ground. Dishman is down on top of it. Big play, and the first big play for the Houston Oilers.
8:43 to go in the first half. And after a second look, I think they're going to take another one. Now they're going to rule it's okay. The play goes. It is a recovery. Dishman gets the fumble recovery. Hands raised. They weren't raised when he was beaten for a touchdown earlier. Warren Moon goes to Mike Rozier, and here are markers in. Coming in from the umpire. And facing the quarterback, often an offensive holding call. Jason Buck was on the stop. He's the lead tackler.
False start. Left guard. Still first down.
Mike Munchak was the guilty culprit on that. He goes just as you watch right to the middle of your screen there. You see Mike Munchak, number 63, going just a hair before the snap of the ball.
Mike Munchak, a first-team All-Pro player in 7th year from Penn State.
The Oilers have a very good offensive line themselves.
Really good. Terrific people up front. Maybe the biggest guy in the league at left tackle in Bruce Davis. It's 1st and 15 for Warren Moon. Here's an open receiver. And Drew Hill, turning up on the defense, beats Eric Thomas for an 11-yard gain down to the 9-yard line.
And Alonzo Highsmith has been so upset. He's now him and Tua Tagovailoa going at it. But here you see Drew Hill, just a little out ball from running out of the slot. That should be a gimme all day. You line up the receiver in the slot, and then the cornerback just has to chase him the entire time. If you can throw the ball on rhythm, you should be able to complete that almost every time.
Warren Moon sets his team on a bitter, cold day in Cincinnati. His team started the day with a 1.5-game lead in the AFC Central. They go to the run. A straight-ahead carry. Not for very many yards, down to about the 5-yard line. Alonzo Highsmith got the call.
Another look where they're looking for the pass. They give the ball underneath to Highsmith, and he sort of stumbles through the hole. If he could have kept his feet, he might have ended up in the end zone. Highsmith used to playing down there in Florida, the University of Miami. I asked him about this cold weather, and he just said, hey, there's nothing I can do with it. I just go out and freeze.
Dad's a coach at Texas Southern University in Houston. Now with 7:59 to play, a timeout is called by the Bengals, and Warren Moon gets a chance to get some counsel.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
America shops at Radio Shack for everything in radios. Radios for wake-ups, sit-ups, weathercasts, newscasts, see-beers, see-deers, shortwavers, space savers, stereo mates, playmates, radios that are wettable, petable, and simply unforgettable.
Tune in to hundreds of Christmas gift ideas from the leader in radio technology since 1921. A radio for every purpose at every price at Radio Shack, the technology store.
You kept thinking it will stop, it will at some point, but it went on forever. So there was glass everywhere.
In the living room, I have a 700-pound soapstone wood-burning stove that had bounced all the way across the living room, sitting in the middle of the floor. It was obvious from the very beginning that our house was no longer habitable. When I called my agent and told him we needed to find temporary housing, within 48 hours, Allstate had written me a check to pay for our moving expenses and for our rent. I expected bean pushers, and I got sensitive people instead.
The headlines today on NFL Live: Mike Shanahan, offensive coordinator of the Broncos, turning down a reported $600,000 a year contract to coach the University of Kentucky. Ralph Wiley reporting that Alabama junior Keith McCants will leave school to enter the NFL. He, by acclamation, is rated the #1 player in the college ranks this year by every professional scout. Jerry Glanville says the Oilers play better when opposing fans boo them. Nobody's booing now. Perhaps he wishes they would. Glanville told us yesterday, Ahmad, that the team that has possession last is probably going to win. It turned out the team that had possession first is probably going to lose because his team fumbled and the Bengals took it right in. But he's had a great year.
Yeah, they just have not been able to get anything going. But I still think 28 points is not enough.
As you pointed out, the Oilers won't quit.
No, they won't, and they have this high-powered offense that has the ability to score quickly. Once they start throwing that ball, they throw it all over the field.
It's first down and goal from the 5-yard line for Houston. Oilers down 28-0. Pitch back, Lorenzo White. Hard strike put on him. Carl Zander was one of the lead tacklers along with Ricky Dixon, 29, a former #1 out of Oklahoma who hits like a rocket.
You want to talk about, I always say that, you know, cornerbacks don't like to tackle. If you take a look at this tackle, Ricky Dixon came up and just exploded through this tackle. I should say some cornerbacks don't like to tackle. Because Ricky Dixon, you know, he's a safety. He likes to come up and unload on people.
Well, he really unloads. It brings up a second down and goal from the 3-yard line. Moon to Rozier. He's down close, but he's not in. Yes, he is now. Might be a free ball. It is, and Cincinnati has it. So the Oilers at long last get a turnover, get down close, and then cough it up.
Skip McClendon is the guy with the ball. He's taking a nice stroll through the end zone there, but with Rozier trying to fight to get into that end zone, and in all that traffic there, the ball just comes loose. And
in the end zone, it's a touchdown.
Now we have a moment. Let's switch to the Miami-Indianapolis game to Charlie Jones and Merlin Olsen. 7:02 to play here at Cincinnati, where the Bengals are holding to a 28-0 lead, and McClendon's recovery of a Rozier fumble in the end zone. Houston's only threat of this game so far is stopped, and the Bengals are ready to go 1st and 10 at their 20.
Jerry Glanville wants the official to explain to him what happened. He just came out of his headsets.
Here's the replay.
Here's the replay. You'll see Mike Rozier with the ball here. He pounds it down inside. Now he appears to be, he's still going forward. Now the ball is loose.
There it is.
He was on the ground, though, when the ball went loose.
I don't think so. Well, I don't know if his knee was down. They'll be looking again. We'll find out.
That's what Rozier is arguing, and so is Glanville, that he was down already. Here's another look, number 30, Mike Rozier hits up in there. Now he's still driving forward. Now he's down, the ball comes out. Skip McClendon falls on it.
This Oiler team has known some bad days. They started the season, and we saw them out, losing 38-7 at Minnesota.
Upon review, the play stands. Touchdown.
2 weeks ago, they were absolutely destroyed at Kansas City, 34-0. They're behind 28-0 today. But along the way, they've managed to win 9 games, and they started this day in command of the NFC Central. One more win for Jerry Glanville's Oilers, either today, which is unlikely, or next Saturday night against the Browns, when the Oilers will be a definite favorite in the Astrodome, and Houston goes in as undisputed champion of the AFC Central. Pitch back to Erik Ball on first down. He's ahead out to the 25-yard line. Cornerback Steve Brown, number 24, was on the stop for the Houston Oilers.
And Skip McClendon, number 72 for the Bengals, has been playing very well in the absence of Jim Scow. He's come up with big plays. I mean, a lot of times when Scow goes down, and a lot of teams come in here and they try to pick on McClendon, and McClendon has been really coming to play every single week and playing very well. Big play there by recovering that fumble, stopping the touchdown.
This big lead, it'll be interesting to see how long they keep Esiason in. They're not done yet. Esiason still pitching, and Rodney Holman catching on a 2nd down and 4 play. He's ahead for 6 yards and a first down. And Esiason has just surpassed the 3,000-yard mark passing for a 5th straight season. The NFL's most valuable player, 1988.
Well done. I think they're going to leave him in quite a while because, as we mentioned at the outset of the game, these Bengals want to beat up on the Oilers.
Yeah, what the fuck's up?
They want to not only beat them on the scoreboard, but put some physical hurt on them so that Cleveland will have a chance to beat them next week.
The Browns and the Vikings are still scoreless in the second quarter at Cleveland Stadium. Erik Ball in motion on a 1st down and 10 play for the Bengals. Free ball. And it looks like the Oilers have it at the 28-yard line. Richard Byrd, number 71, comes up with the ball.
Here's another look. You just see Boomer does not get the snap. And this does not happen very often. We talked to Boomer yesterday about his ball handling abilities, and he actually knocked on wood and said, well, you know, we haven't had a fumble from the exchange between the center and the quarterback in a long time because we really take a lot of time in working on this, and a day later it happens.
On a day like this, there's going to be more. Oilers have turned it over 3 times in the first half. 2 fumbles and an interception. Here's a throw, and again Drew Hill is open. Dancing into the secondary, cutting out quickly on a timing pattern, good for a 17-yard gain. It's going to be 1st down and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Minnesota, with their big, powerful offense, gets 3 points.
Vikings up on the Browns in the second quarter, 3-0.
They've had a lot of problems with their offense, and so has Cleveland, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Colts have taken a 14-13 lead over Miami at halftime. KC with 2 field goals by Lowry, up 6-0 on San Diego. Steelers lead at the half, and so do the Lions.
Kansas City making believers out of everybody. Everybody believes that they're a good team right now.
Unbeaten in the last 4 weeks, a tie and 3 wins.
We saw them early in the season. They had a great defense, just getting their offense together. Now it appears they got it all together.
Getting great quarterbacking from DeBerg.
It's a 1st down.
5 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first half. Ball position at the 14-yard line of Cincinnati. Oilers have yet to get on the board. They were close to the last possession, but Rozier fumbled at the goal line. It was recovered by McClendon in the end zone for a touchback. Now it's 1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line for Houston's Warren Moon to the end zone. Almost kicked off again. Lewis Billups, number 24, had both hands on the ball but couldn't hold it. Second down from the 15-yard line.
Ernest Gibbons streaking down the middle of the end zone, but there was quite a few black jerseys between Gibbons and Warren Moon. Warren tried to just throw it right between them, and lucky they didn't get that ball intercepted.
Warren Moon steps in the shotgun. Has had success in cold weather, but says he's never liked playing in it yet. It hurts. Here's a throw, and it's lost. Haywood Jeffrey had it and lost it. Ricky Dixon, 29, gave him some help, but it was a perfect strike thrown by Warren Moon that Jeffries couldn't hold.
Great throw by Warren Moon. And you put the 3 receivers on the other side and leave oh, he turns Phillips around. That's Ricky Dixon he turns around. Watch Jeffries here. Watch. This is a great route here. Now watch Dixon take the outside fake. Turns around. The ball's right on the money. And he just can't hang on to it.
Now the Cincinnati crowd rises up. It is 3rd down and 10 for the Oilers. Into the end zone. Incomplete. Lou Hill diving for the ball. Lewis Phillips defending on the play. And the Oilers are sending out their field goal kicker to try to get off the schneid and get on the board. They're down 28-0. 4th down and 10. Tony Zendejas comes out.
The Oilers, you won't see Jeffries drop many balls, and I guarantee you he's very upset at himself for dropping that 1 touchdown opportunity.
A 32-yard attempt. Kick is on the way. It is spun up. No good. So it's all going wrong for the Oilers, and they just can't fix it. A couple players start up. David Fulcher starts up with Dishman. Fulcher backs away only because he doesn't want a penalty. That would last about 5 seconds.
He doesn't want a penalty, and he probably doesn't want to hurt Dishman. I mean, he's outweighed there by Fulcher outweighs Dishman by a lot of pounds, and when Zendejas missed that field goal, the first one to congratulate him was David Fulcher, which Chris Dishman didn't like. The Fulcher factor, I like that. This man here.
The tail of the tape.
That's the tail of the tape. The best strong safety in football this year.
He was a Pro Bowler last January, talking to defensive coordinator Dick LeBeau on the sideline. Now the Bengals ready to go again. After the missed field goal, they'll start from their 20. Eric Ball takes an open field and balls out across the 35-yard line. He's out to the 37. A first down run, good for 17 yards and a first down. Tackle on the play by the free safety, Jeff Donaldson.
There was a great block on that play by Stanford Jennings. We talk about Stanford Jennings being able to do it all. He was the one that set Eric Ball loose. If you watch Stanford Jennings, number 36, leading the play, watch his kick-out block. That's what sets it all up. Then all of a sudden, it's just a sprint for Eric Ball. Great block by Jennings. Comes right back with a great run.
Good for 7 yards on a first down play. The Bengals now taking some time off the clock with their big lead. The clock shows 4 minutes and running in the second quarter.
I talked to Stanford Jennings. I said, well, how do you divide up your week? You play every position. He says, I take snaps at every position at least a few times during the course of the week. One day I'll play fullback, one day tailback, one day wide receiver, and he plays it all very well.
We'll be going to NFL Live to Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson at halftime. We try to make more semblance out of this final drive for the playoffs, particularly in the American Conference, where it's wide open for a lot of teams. Downfield throw, but there's too much on it. Eddie Brown was open, wide open, and Esiason is holding his head because he missed an open receiver.
Bob and O.J. will be doing that halftime from the warmth of a studio at 30 Rockefeller Plaza in New York. I think they should probably turn the air conditioning up, just give them a feel of the game out here. Boomer a little upset that he missed that one.
The Bengals have been tough to him out in third down. They have one coming up now.
5 of 5 on third down.
That incompletion, making the 11 straight completions that Esiason had. 3:26 as you see to go in the first half. 28-0 Cincinnati. Eric Ball meeting up with tacklers. 59, John Grimsley got him. A penalty marker comes in. Kenny Johnson, 22, was on the stop also.
Kenny Johnson, the man they call legend because he's been in the league so long.
Might be a non-legendary late hit, though.
He's a very emotional player.
Personal foul, defense.
Personal foul for a late hit. They did not call a number.
Once again, we take a look at the play again. It's very hard to tell. It looked like Donaldson maybe came up late and slid into that pile. You know, when you get that reputation of hitting anything that moves, anytime you come up on a pile like that, you're going to get a flag. And these are the kind of things that really hurt this team.
Unnecessary roughness at the end of the play. First down.
Jeff Donaldson, a very active safety, but a lot of times you got to know when to pull off. When you're active like that, you're going to get some of these kind of penalties. He hit his own man, still got a penalty.
And it keeps the drive of the Bengals alive. It is now first down and 10 at the 36-yard line. Stanford Jennings. Down to the 28-yard line. First down carry, good for about 9.
Stanford Jennings lost a shoe. Got to come out here and get reshod.
You pointed out, Ahmad, Jennings is a versatile player. Catches, runs, returns kicks. Had that big return in the Super Bowl. And he also blocks. He picks up blitzes. The spot is good for an 8-yard gain. That makes it second down and 2 now for Cincinnati. 2:15 to go, first half. Out pattern to Tim McGee, and he is thrown back from the 24-yard line. They position the ball well ahead of the marker. He has a first down.
You get a chance to see how strong Boomer Esiason's arm is on that one, because he had to gun this ball out there. Had he taken a little bit off that ball, Dishman would have had a chance to make this interception and go the distance the other way. But when you got a big gun like Boomer, you can just fire it out there. And firing he has, as you look at his stats today, 14 and 17. You know, we have not seen a lot of James Brooks.
No, we haven't.
Here you'll see this shot again. Boomer just fires it out there to McGee on a rope. Now it becomes a push and shove match right here. Bud Grant used to tell me that they call this roughing in hockey.
2 minutes.
There's a celebration going on early in Cincinnati.
Are you the one who put these away last year? Put them away.
Look at the angel of one.
Who put that? This is it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
When you gather around for the holidays, there's no better beer to have around than Michelob. Look for our tree at your store and have a happy holiday. Astronomers tell us there won't be a total eclipse in America until the year 2017. They are very much mistaken. This is the year of the eclipse. Introducing the Eclipse by Mitsubishi. Try not to stare.
Stuffing? Mr. Scrooge loves the new stuffing in the 5-piece holiday meal deal from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Only $4.99. To Cratchit.
With the 10-piece holiday meal, only $9.99.
Good thinking, Cratchit.
Get the 5 or 10-piece holiday meal deal.
The Black & Decker Workmate. About all it can help you do is clean up. But at least it gets out of your way. The Black & Decker Workmate. The Bills. The 49ers. Next.
Among the features of NFL Live at halftime today, O.J. Simpson on Joe Montana's maybe all-time season. It seems every year he has one.
I think it's pretty funny to hear O.J. talking about a quarterback. Here's a guy that had the worst hands in the history of any football player I've ever seen talking about a quarterback. But boy, could he run the ball.
He didn't
run
catch
it
a lot, did he?
No, he can run it like no one else I've ever seen, but he dropped more balls. Balls used to beat him up in practice. Hit him all in the head. In the game, he'd catch him off the back of his helmet anywhere.
There's James Brooks being held out now because he is playing with a knee strain. Played very well while he was in. You remember the 14-yard touchdown run. Second score of the game. But with this big lead, they don't want to risk him. He's got to go again next week. The final game for the Bengals will be at Minneapolis on Christmas night against the Vikings, who at the moment lead the Browns 3-0. Last report. Esiason with a throw and a catch. Eddie Brown running in the open field is down inside the 15-yard line. An 11-yard gain and a first down.
And Boomer trying to get his team rallied back up near the line of scrimmage. That is a tough catch to catch. When you got to come all the way across the field and never looking back, you always have the fear that you're going to run headlong into a helmet. Great catch by Eddie Brown.
Bengals looking to nail the lid on before halftime. If in fact they haven't done that already. Leading 28-0. First down pitch back Eric Ball. Jennings blocks. Ball lunges and gets to the 12-yard line, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, perhaps a yard ahead. Tackle on the play, William Fuller 95 and Al Smith 54. Like Doug Smith is down, a 300-pound nose tackle for the Oilers.
And Doug Smith came into this game with a bad toe. I asked him what was wrong with his toe. He just said, man, my toe hurts. You know, I don't know about that turf toe stuff. And you weigh 300+ pounds, that toe plays a big role in your career.
If you thought you had to give up comfort to get a close shave, Norelco says, think again. Their revolutionary shaving system shaves skin close in a way that's incredibly comfortable. As the hair enters the chamber, the patented lift and cut system lifts each hair and holds it a split second before a blade cuts it, so it's possible to shave skin close without the blades even touching the skin. The lift and cut shaving system from Norelco. We made close comfortable.
With Ahmad Rashad, this is Don Criqui back at Cincinnati. Halftime score at Cleveland. Vikings up 3-0. Other halftime scores. Packers up on the Bears. Indianapolis rallying from behind to take a 1-point lead on the Miami Dolphins at halftime. Kansas City continues to roll, but not by that much. San Diego playing well in cold weather.
I've seen them do that before. They beat us one year on the way to the playoffs in late December. Came in from that sunny San Diego to that sunny. It was sunny in Minneapolis that day, but the temperature was about 8, and they beat us.
Big Doug Smith still down. The big Oiler nose tackle. They're looking at his left leg. The #1 defensive player for the Oilers, Ray Childress, is out of this game and could be out for some games to come. He has a broken fibula in his leg.
He said he's taking it day by day. I talked to him before the game. He said he played with a stress fracture a few years ago, and Doug Smith is finally up. That's a very good sign that he's walking off the field. And speaking about Ray Childress, he said he's taking it day to day. He really doesn't know if he'll play next week or not. Doug Smith, he had his ankle taped a different kind of way, trying to keep the pressure off that toe. You never know how painful these things can be until you hurt your big toe. That's 4/5 of your foot.
Yeah.
You can hurt a little toe and you're all right, but you hurt that big toe, and it takes away the way you walk. You got to walk and roll over the outside of your foot. It throws your whole body off. But Childress saying that he doesn't have a cast on his leg. He wants to keep the cast off that keeps the blood flowing, and maybe it'll heal the bone a little quicker.
Talk about playing hurt, looking to come back with a broken leg. It is a complete break, but it is not of a weight-bearing bone. So conceivably, he could be back. Right now, we have 2nd down and 10 to go from the 12-yard line for Cincinnati. 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the first half. Boomer on the roll. He's too high for Eric Ball. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Sean Jones, number 96, got a big rush on Esiason, as did Johnny Meads, blitzing from the outside backer position. Sam White talking about softening up the Oilers, beating them and softening them up for Cleveland.
And also seeing that plan from the sideline. And as I mentioned earlier, everybody in that offensive huddle knows that play. When he puts up his fingers in a certain formation, the entire offense can look at him and know what play is coming up. It's not just a signal to the quarterback, but the entire team.
Has been a good day for Cincinnati, not just here, but also at Cleveland. They're rooting for the Vikings to beat the Browns. Then they'll root for the Browns to beat the Oilers. Straight ahead carry down inside the 10-yard line. Latest report on Doug Smith, a knee sprain. He should be back. That's good news for Doug Smith and the Oilers.
And also good news for his young son who just had a birthday on the 13th, Doug Smith III. Dad's
a young nose tackle.
That's right. Dad's all right.
Jim Breech coming out to try a field goal attempt now. 31 seconds and running. The Bengals have done it all right. First play of the game really turned the whole game. First play from scrimmage, Warren Moon missed the snap from the center. It was quickly recovered by Cincinnati. And 3 plays later on a 22-yard throw from Esiason to Eddie Brown, the Bengals were on the board, and they've rolled since then, extending their lead to 28-0. Ball position at the 9-yard line, and the clock ran out. The delay of game call, unless it is actually a timeout call has been made. So there's a timeout with 14 seconds to play in the first half. Cincinnati getting set for a field goal try by Jim Breech. 28-0 Bengals. Again, the scenario, Houston goes into the playoffs with a win today or next Saturday night against Cleveland. Winning one of its final 2 games, the Oilers go in not only as a playoff team, but as an outright divisional champion. Special guest on the scene. Getting ready for a big trip next week. Santa himself is here.
You know,
Sam White's has gotten a few gifts today from those Oilers.
He certainly has.
In turnovers. To be a 27-yard field goal by Jim Breech. He spins it up and good. And the Bengals now extend their lead to 31-0. Where does Jerry Glanville go from here?
He has a lot of pressure on him. You just don't want to be in a situation where they tell you all you got to do is win one of your next 2. You know, you got to win the next one. When you start thinking about one of the next 2, all it does is just put a lot of pressure on you for the next week. I'm sure Glanville would like to win the championship here today. I mean, they're going to have to really go some to try to win this football game, but you certainly don't want to go home thinking that it's just a given that you don't lose in the House of Pain and you're going to beat Cleveland next week. That's not a given at all.
NFL Live is coming up shortly. As right now, with 10 seconds to play, the Cincinnati Bengals are ready to kick off yet again to the Houston Oilers. An unlikely season for Glanville. We talked about those route losses his team has suffered. 38-7 to the Vikings, 34-0 to Kansas City. They're down 31 before halftime today. Yet they're in a position to win their title, the Central Division title, and subsequently the conference championship. Sam White's Bengals need 2 wins and a lot of help. But so far, all the things they need are holding up. Vikings are leading Cleveland, and the Bengals are burying the Oilers.
You take a look at this Cincinnati sideline. See the players kind of standing around. If you look on the Oilers sideline, there isn't an empty seat on that hot bench.
Yeah.
Them guys are pertinent. Those boys. It's crowded over there on that hot bench.
You think the guys might be reflecting on something other than the next play. Another squib kick. Another lateral. Running with the ball is Johnson, and he gets to the 36-yard line. Ed Brady makes the tackle as we're down to 3 seconds to play in the first half. Jerry Glanville's unlikely season, surviving all those route losses, and also a snake bite. Jerry survived, but the snake succumbed.
He'd trade all that stuff away for a win here today. And there's Paul Brown, the living legend over there. had more coaches that have had more great things to say about Paul Brown. You know, Bud Grant played for Paul Brown.
Oh, yeah, Great Lakes.
Yeah, he said he learned a lot from Paul Brown. A lot of his coaching techniques still a major part of a lot of coaches today.
Warren Moon dropping to throw. Long ball downfield. A lot of coverage is back. And the first half ends on an interception. David Fulcher. Fumble recovery and 2 interceptions in the first half. This guy's having a career.
He told me yesterday the world's largest safety is ready to roll.
He is rolling, and so are the Bengals here in the jungle as they go to the locker room in a must-win game with a 31-0 lead on the Houston Oilers. It all went wrong early for the Oilers, and the Bengals have kept pouring it on from here.
David Fulcher was sick earlier in the week. Said he had the flu and didn't feel well, but he said he'd feel great by the time they start this. It's a very nice play by David. Keeps his eye on the ball. Ball bounces up. He catches on the second rebound.
NFL Live is coming up next here on NBC Sports as the Cincinnati Bengals have taken command 31-0 over the division leader, the Houston Oilers.
If I had a Nissan 240 SX, it'd be a red coupe. Wait, a silver fastback. And I'd go for a spin up Route 7. The twisty part. Just me and Astro. No, Amy. Heck, Christy Brinkley. Wow! Yeah, me and Christy in my silver, no, red 240 SX. Driving into the sunset.
We had all come to enjoy the game that Sunday, but by some chance a rude guy came along. He was drinking and swearing. The fans were getting angry. This guy did not know right from wrong. So the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. The people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
I'm Nolan Cromwell. When we root for our team, we can all be winners if we leave the action to the players on the field and not in the stands. Don't you rock the boat.
The fans don't like a spoiler. They want to keep the game on a happy note. Sit down, you're rocking the boat.
I'm Gene Kelly, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, asking you not to rock the boat. Remember to be courteous and considerate to your fellow fans. Don't party too hard before or during the game, and drive home safely after the game. Don't you rock the boat.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Nissan, built for the human race. Stay tuned for NFL Live after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, the joyous holiday classic returns, Mickey's Christmas Carol. Plus, join the Little Mermaid and see how the Disney magic is made. Then how would you describe Ann Jillian's first big date?
Very funny.
And the holiday spirit continues when Sister Kate goes to jail.
I can explain.
Tonight.
Mom was pretty shook. What, the brakes started screaming? Like heavy metal. No way. No big deal. That's what MasterCare told us. No way. You should have been there. This MasterCare expert, we're talking pro, fixes the brakes with a lifetime warranty. So the noise is history? No big deal.
Visit one of our 19 Firestone MasterCare service centers in the Columbus area. MasterCare Car Service by Firestone.
What's this? Bunny slippers?
Of all the last-minute gifts you can buy, one's appreciated more than all the rest.
Wow.
McDonald's gift certificates.
Thanks, Mom.
Your holiday place, McDonald's.
The McDonald's Hamburger Happy Meal just got happier. Because now it's only $1.99. It has the same great taste inside. It even has the same great toy. The $1.99 Hamburger Happy Meal. It's a whole lot happier.
Evening News Watch, weeknights at 7 o'clock.
A
Okay, Bob Costas back along with O.J. Simpson. The Oilers, as everybody knows, had won 5 of 6 to put themselves in position to clinch the AFC Central if they won today at Cincinnati. But in that stretch of 5 victories in 6 games, their lone defeat was a game where they were really waxed at Arrowhead. And now the same thing is happening to them on the road at Riverfront against the Bengals.
Well, evidently they're a team that tend to get a little lax. That game that they lost to Kansas City was 34-0. They're getting waxed, as you said, today, 31-0. They've been the most consistent team in the AFC along with Kansas City the second half of the season. I think they may rely a little too much on the aura of the House of Pain where they're going to play Cleveland next week. And, of course, if they win that game, they'll still win their division.
All right, so Houston with the 4 turnovers in the first half, including Rozier fumbling near the goal line on their best scoring chance. David Fulcher just having a great year at strong safety for the Bengals. 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. The fumble recovery on the first play from scrimmage by Houston, setting up the first Cincinnati touchdown. Boomer Esiason with 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Eddie Brown. James Brooks, a 14-yard scoring run. Everything clicking for the Bengals. They'll stay alive in the playoff chase, leading 31-0 at halftime. Minnesota in a defensive struggle in very cold Cleveland, 10 degrees and the temperature plummeting from there, 10 degrees at game time. They lead 3-0 over the Browns, who in their last 4 games have a tie and 3 defeats. Rich Carlos with a 45-yard field goal in the second quarter. That's all the scoring to this point. Chicago just got a touchdown at Soldier Field, and they close it up a bit against the Packers, 27-21. Don Majkowski has thrown a touchdown pass to Perry Kemp. He has run 17 yards for another score. Neil Anderson had a big first half for the Bears, 5 carries for 87 yards, plus a touchdown reception of 21 yards from Jim Harbaugh, and the Bears are hanging in there down 6 against Green Bay. The Packers are 8-6, and the Bears 6-8 and out of the playoff chase. Indianapolis just widened their lead at home over Miami. The Dolphins had the lead early. The Colts just got a Dickerson touchdown and lead now by 21-13. Don Shula knows if he wins today and next week at home against Kansas City, he's a wild card at least no matter what happens anywhere else. And things were looking good when Scott Schwades fielded this Ron Stark punt and brought it back 70 yards for a touchdown and a 10-0 Miami lead in the first quarter. Glum expression for Ron Meyer. But then Reggie Roby has a punt blocked on him for only the 2nd time in his career. Chris Good blocked it and returned it almost for a touchdown. Moments later, Mark Boyer is on the receiving end of this pass from Jack Trudeau off the play fake. And this is the Dickerson touchdown, capping their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And they increased their lead to 21-13 still early in the 3rd against the Dolphins. The Colts are 7-7. The Dolphins are 8-6. Kansas City at home and leading San Diego 13-7. In this one, 3 Charger turnovers helping Kansas City's cause. Pittsburgh midway through the 3rd quarter at Three Rivers with a 14-3 lead on the Patriots. The Steelers do have a shot at a wild card, but everything has to fall into place. They've got to win today and next week against Tampa Bay, and almost all the other wild card contenders have to lose in order for it to work out for Chuck Noll's team. And Detroit is closing the season with a rush. They've increased their lead just moments ago on an Eddie Murray field goal to 27-0 in the 3rd quarter at home against Tampa Bay. Both these teams are 5-9, but Detroit has won 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. Barry Sanders is closing in on 100 yards. He had 90 in the first half, including a 4-yard touchdown run for the Lions. Bob Galliano threw for 2 scores, one of 2 yards to Richard Johnson, another of 55 yards to Jason Phillips, and the Lions are cruising at 27-0. We cruise out of here for a minute, and when we come back, O.J. has a look at the remarkable season Joe Montana is enjoying for the San Francisco 49ers. We do it following these messages from your local stations.
He's ruthless and cunning.
Get him out of my sight.
Daddy! And threatens a town by taking a child hostage.
Where's the little girl? It doesn't work like that.
Now a desperado must save the town, a girl, and the woman he loves.
Does it really matter that much to you?
Someone's got to. An all-new Desperado. Badlands Justice tonight.
Once upon a time, there was a guy named Goldilocks who was thirsting for refreshment. But this one, and this one. So then he moved to Diet Coke, and it was just right. The real cola taste you can drink more of because it's just 1 calorie.
Hey, somebody's been drinking our Diet Coke.
Yeah. And there he is. Hey, it's the 3 Bears. What's up? Yeah.
Taste of it. Diet Coke.
Family Counseling Crittenden Services, 90 years of helping.
Okay, Okay, welcome back to our NFL Live studios in New York. As we told you earlier, Joe Montana will not start for the 49ers today against Buffalo. Still, that doesn't do anything to diminish the year he's having, possibly the best ever in the NFL. A look at the current quarterback rating shows that Montana is in a class by himself, giving renewed meaning to the word greatness. Here's OJ now with more on Joe Montana.
Webster defines it as being uncommonly gifted. Ali put it in his own words.
I am the greatest.
Gretzky added it to his signature.
Wayne Gretzky, the great one, has become the greatest of them all.
In 1989, Joe Montana may bring it to a new level. He is in the midst of a career year and a career marked by greatness. With 3 Super Bowl wins on his resume and the comeback victory as his personal trademark, Montana...
When your team's doing well and you're winning, those kind of things just kind of go hand in hand with it.
He really has an enthusiasm for the game and loves to play, and it's still a game for him. And I think that's one of the secrets to success.
He's got a young man in him that just likes to play games, and so it hasn't got an old hat to him.
Old hat to Joe Montana means performance under pressure. That combined with a few playbook modifications and a more balanced pass attack equals higher efficiency in 1989.
We went into training camp this year thinking that 2 things. One, we had to take a little heat off Jerry and take a little heat off Roger.
The hearts of the Houston Oilers will be beating a little faster today. Even the great teams of Bum Phillips, Earl Campbell, and Dan Pastorini never achieved what the current Oiler team hopes to accomplish today, win a divisional title outright. Jerry Glanville's Oilers had only 2 beats of the clock left last month when Tony Zendejas nailed a 28-yard field goal to beat the Bengals by 2 points.